Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of 10 Minute Marvel. We're hitting kind of our year-end coverage around Marvel coming up here. We're going to be looking ahead in the upcoming weeks to shows, movies, stuff like that that's coming out in 2025. But this week, we're looking back at some of our Marvel highlights. What are some of the things that MCU-wise, Marvel-wise, whatever it might be, are highlights for us from 2024? So, from the archives of all the Marvel awesomeness, I'm Petter, and joining me from his small annex.
Yeah, it is very small in here, very cramped. Um, and I have nothing really to lead or like continue on at that annex aspects, but I'm just gonna say, um, thank you for coming back, everybody, and thanks for listening. And this is Greg. Just so you know, I am playing the Franklin Richards third string stand-in on Fantastic Four First Steps. So catch me there, maybe if I'm lucky. We'll see. Okay. After that rough intro, I am going to just go right into what I normally say. But I have to pull it up on my phone. There we go. All right, everybody, if you're looking for ways to support us, you can like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Find and follow us on Facebook and on X. And of course, you can leave us a rating review wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcast from. So,
Yes, news and rumors.
let's get to news and rumors very quickly since I destroyed the intro to this podcast.
No, let's
You
dwell on where
you
you're
set
going
me
to.
up. You set me up incorrectly. I was like, I'm not in an annex.
I know. Well, now that you're starting to come up with your own bits, I'm trying to throw you bits to mess you up.
I guess that's fair. Like maybe I can just see if I can play mine into what you like where you leave off and then see how good I really am. Just so the audience knows, it's going to take a little while for this to get worked out. So bear with me, but I'll get there.
Yeah. Neither of us have spent much time doing improv. Let's put it that
No,
way.
no, none. In fact, none.
All right. So, news and rumors. Let's kick off here with some rumors. Um, I'm gonna group these two together. First one from Cosmic Circus that Marvel is planning on introducing Hulkling soon. Makes
Really?
sense. I mean, it it makes sense to me. I'm assuming it could even be like in a Vision show or whatever that continue anything that continues to build out that team.
Well, I mean, I saw
The
a little bit of
Eddie.
rumbles of Agatha season two being
Yeah,
discussed, but
I
I
I
mean,
don't
that
think that.
is far out
Yeah.
there. I mean,
Yep.
but
To me,
still
that's
gonna,
one of those things that Agatha season two is people talking about it because they liked it so much, not Marvel really having discussed it much. I'm sure they would do it if the right thing came along, but
well, yes. And I can kind of agree with that, but I think that Marvel, it's been said that they are pushing forward with the things that are the hot tickets, right? Like they push forward with Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine. They want obviously they want Fantastic Four. Those big the the things that have got butts and seats, that's what they're going for, I think now.
hmm
So Agatha, I feel like overall did very well.
hmm
And so I could see them pushing that a little bit faster and more, maybe trying to develop that idea a little bit more, along with
Yeah.
like, I mean, I might be spoiling some news here, but like Ryan Reynolds is even like supposedly masking up a little bit and getting ready to start doing more Deadpool like
Yes.
drop-ins, right? So I didn't mean to spoil that
Well,
on you, but I'm
yeah.
just saying like it's something that they could be pushing based on the feedback that they're getting. So,
Yeah, I think it's possible. I do think, well, I think it's possible. I think that it's a bigger deal to have Kevin Feige's not going to greenlight something because it's popular characters,
oh, very true.
which is, and nor is Bob Iger. Bob Chapek definitely would have. But so I think, yes, they will ask, I'm sure, Jack Schaefer, like, do you have an additional story, a follow on to this? And if she's like, yes, and here's my pitch, and they're like, that's a really good story, they will definitely do it.
Right.
I'm
Now, would
very
they put
confident.
Hulk, would Hulkling be in there? It just like I'm just thinking when you said Hulkling was, they're
Hmm.
trying to get him involved. I, I mean, with Wiccan,
Yeah.
so I, I don't, but I could also see Jack Schaefer being like, well, I don't, want you to force me to use this character, but
Hmm.
maybe she doesn't have a say. I don't know.
Well, and it ties into, like I said, this was a two-parter. The second part being from Daniel RPK with that Marvel, the quote-unquote Young Avengers team might be Champions team, Marvel Champions versus Young Avengers, and that is being worked on. So that would be a spot which means, yes, you would be casting a Hulkling and getting that character to show up soon. And I was kind of rude to the people sharing that news, basically calling them out for making snide remarks about something that's absolutely nothing. They're like, well, it has to be champion since all the Young Avengers, like all the actors are getting old. Like, first off, it's basically the same characters between the two, and Marvel proper has never said they're doing Young Avengers. That was only fans who have, not only fans, but only fans who have been saying it's Young Avengers.
Wait, are you getting in a fight with people on like comments?
No, no.
Are you-
When I shared it, I was just a little bit sarcastic about
I'm
it.
like, oh, gossip. Um,
No,
Not
yeah,
okay. You're not tossing
not fighting
virtual
with.
blows to people. Okay, got it.
No,
I'm like, that's not going to help our fan base.
no, no. It the how
You respectfully
I respectfully
shot them
dis
down.
yes, I respectfully shot them down, kind of. Um, but more so it was I'm sharing their post where they're like, well, Marvel's changed this because of X, Y, and Z. And it's like this is something like Marvel has never uttered, Kevin Feige has never uttered the words Young Avengers.
I'm, I guess I didn't even like think about that. It's funny how that just becomes. Now, I don't know. Like, I think you're right on that. I don't know if there's ever been an interview
They've
that has said it.
no,
I can't
not that.
confidently say that because I just haven't paid attention to enough. I've almost
Mhm.
like just ingrained that into my train of thought about,
Yep.
right? Just and so there you go. Thank you, social media. Um,
Yeah, and it makes sense. We have to refer to it as something.
yeah, that's true.
So Young Avengers is an obvious way to refer to it as I think more people know. And like the name Young Avengers makes more sense because for people to talk about it as because it's like, oh, it's a new team of superheroes. They're not mutants, so sure, Avengers.
Fair. Now,
But yeah.
for our listening audience that doesn't know champions,
Hmm.
could you help explain that to me? I mean them by going through. Do you know a little bit about them?
Let's just talk about some of the members for Champions.
Okay.
So, I believe this is current members. We have Miss Marvel, makes sense. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Nova, Sam Alexander Nova, not Richard Rider, Brawn, Amadeus Cho, who we've heard rumors about as well,
Okay.
Viv Vision, and Nadia Pym as Wasp. So, younger one. And I do believe that there are other members here as well. Yeah, I'm finding them. Joaquin Torres, Falcon,
Hmm.
Ironheart, Patriot, Power Man, Dust. So a lot of similar characters, a good amount of overlap. Obviously, no Wiccan in there, but there's no reason that you can't just pull in characters between the two different things and call it whatever you want.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's not like they haven't done that before.
Hmm. It's arguably still the Young Avengers. It's just called the Champion. So I
I
just
think.
found it annoying that that people were trying to make a big deal out of it and probably get people to click on their link, which I'm like,
Yeah,
I'd be interested in it. I'd be more interested in clicking on your link if you weren't trying to create fake energy around it. So that's just me.
yeah. Interesting. Wasp is in there. So
Hmm.
that's Nadia
Well,
Pym.
Nadia Pym. So not. Uh,
Cassie, not
Not
Cassie
Cassie
Lang.
Lang, not Hope.
Right. So, but I mean, they got Cassie Lang. Probably
Yeah,
just keep that. Okay.
yeah.
All
Or
right. All
Stat.
right.
I mean, Stature. I think is part of the Young Avengers at one point in time as well, possibly. I forget. So more rumors. The next one is, and this one comes from the Cosmic Circus. That I think Kevin Feige kind of refutes some of what they're putting out with this rumor in a quote that I'll talk about in the news section. But the Cosmic Circus is saying that Nova will be a key project kicking off the next MCU saga, which will have a cosmic focus. So,
How?
yep.
I mean, it's mutants, right? So it's
Well, I mean, that's what everybody has assumed. Again, Kevin Feige,
it's a pretty safe bet. I
yes.
mean, he's even kind of
Kevin
leaned
Feige
into it a little bit himself.
hadn't said like exceedingly officially that it was going to be a mutant saga next. Um, and I use the past tense on that because of the piece of news that we'll talk about. So then, um, the other Kevin Feige thing, and this one is in the rumors from My Time to Shine. Hello, apparently, is interested as Lady Gaga with Lady Gaga playing Dazzler.
I mean, it's better than Taylor Swift.
I put it at basically the exact same level.
You think so? I
Yeah.
mean, Gaga seems a little bit, I don't know. She's done
Yes.
Joker and
She's had
um
more acting credits.
yeah.
It is true. Um,
So and she can sing.
mhm. I look
Taylor
at it.
can't. Just kidding. I don't want to. I'm sorry. I don't want to piss people off. I'm just kidding. That was a joke for all you Swifties out there. If my
Mhm.
wife was in here, she probably would have thrown a chair at me. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I was kind of wondering if she was in there, with the fact that you ran with that joke as far as you did.
Yeah, I know, right? You're gonna
But
see me like just kind of like double take, like
yeah,
duck.
for me, I look at it either way, whoever they cast as Dazzler, if they ever cast Dazzler, because Dazzler's not a character who's going to be a major player in anything. So, sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I can't imagine that it.
Mhm.
I don't know. Should be in,
Yeah.
should be out, right?
Yep. Maybe, yeah, show up in
It's
two other movies
yeah, it's
as a random
fanfare.
character. Yes.
So
Yep. Yep. Then speaking of your Ryan Reynolds, stoking the fire that he's putting back on the mask, with, well, literally showing himself in costume on a Instagram photo, I believe it was.
was it? I didn't even get to read the article. I kind of saw a headline. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. So the Cosmic Circus also has the rumor that there's going to be a Deadpool holiday special. Um,
yeah.
I, to me, that makes a ton of sense. Deadpool's a character, and that would make a lot of sense to do a holiday special with. The CGI budget could be really low if you wanted.
Except for the blood.
The blood, yes. But I mean, just imagine that it's like Deadpool basically reading "Twas the Night Before Christmas"
Right.
to
And that
some
was,
kids.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
like the whole thing, like with Fred Savage, I think, right?
yeah.
I kind of wonder, like, the concept was already there. It was like he'd already
Hmm.
kind of planned this out before. I don't think it ever got to go fully through.
No, it did.
Did it? Did they get filmed and everything like that?
Yes, yeah, I believe you can find that cut. Well, I mean, it's probably fairly expensive on eBay at this point in time, but because all they're really doing is filming scenes with Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool costume and Fred Savage in a room that looks like the Princess Bride room, and like that would be real easy to do. And then you just cut those scenes in wherever you want little chunks of funny dialogue to be.
Yeah, totally. And obviously with the mask on, he could
Mhm.
update some jokes, I'm sure, you know.
Yeah. You don't even
Um,
need Ryan Reynolds there to film it.
no.
You just have somebody in that costume, and then Ryan Reynolds comes in and records some lines. Probably way
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah. Right? I could see it happening just because it's already been cooking. Like it's been an
Hmm.
idea out there, and with Deadpool Wolverine coming out, or is it coming out already recently released, and
Yeah,
it's
doing
just
great on Disney Plus, and
right. Yeah.
so
But
yeah. that one feels like something that could probably happen.
Can they squeeze it in? Like, what's that? What do we got? I mean, if we're doing what if,
Well, yeah, so they're not, it won't be this year, I don't think.
oh,
Unless
they
they're
wait,
do
wait a whole year
unless
for it?
yeah, unless they're doing something like they did with Fred Savage and they're just releasing a slightly different cut of Deadpool and Wolverine. Sure. Then that could be the unique thing that's dropped with this. And that could happen this year still.
Yeah.
The final rumor before we get to the news, and I actually did a video on this one. Hawkeye season 2 is rumored to start filming in fall of 2025. This comes from Scooper Daniel RPK.
Do you think he's gonna have the hearing aids? Or do you think that are they gonna continue that on? Or are they gonna be
He,
nanotech in his ear? What are they gonna do? I wonder.
I think they'll continue it on. That feels like something they would continue on.
Yeah. I feel like there'd be some sort of, I don't know. It won't be as much of a thing, but he'll
Yeah,
mention it, right? It'll be, and is this hearing going to be restored?
I
Like
mean,
in a sense of like technology. And I'm super sorry if you can hear all the crazy background noise. My boys are
nope,
okay,
can't hear
good.
it. No, I don't think they'll play into that. I think it will just be something that's kind of in the background part of it. Um, and to me, this feels like a pretty easy show to do a second season of because they
Mhm.
wrapped up everything real easily. They just need to give him some other villain, something else to go up against. It could even be something from what his wife's character or hero
Oh,
name is supposed to be Mockingbird, I believe.
yeah,
Something from her past. Maybe they have to team up to do something.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it'd be a good time to maybe have that come full circle.
Yeah. Well,
If
especially
that,
because that was a plot device for the first season, wasn't it? The watch?
yeah,
Yeah. So
yep. Hmm.
keep it simple. Just bring that element in and go full circle on it.
Yeah, I'm thinking who's the villain? Is it going to be Swordsman or
Ah,
maybe uh Kate Bishop's mom in some way? Like, and it ties
yeah.
back to the political side of what's happening in Daredevil and Kingpin.
hmm That or what was her father up to? Like,
Oh, right.
like he
Yeah,
was doing something shady, it seemed like.
yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of possibilities and they can play around with it however they want. Obviously, this is based off the assumption that they go with that sort of storyline, or you could have a storyline with Kate Bishop and uh
Pizza Dog.
yeah, Pizza Dog and Clint Barton. Again, be easy enough to just do another thing in New York. So,
Yeah. And the what was unique about it obviously was the first season was the hearing aids,
hmm
introduction to Kate Bishop, some of this Kingpin stuff in the background. I think I don't know what you I don't know. It was holiday themed as well. So
hmm
that was nice. It was about him getting home and
hmm
it's kind of touching in that way. Something's got to really draw you in though, I think for
yeah.
this one. So
Yeah, but I think there will be a lot of people who will just tune into it too. This does feel like, okay, if you're filming it in fall of 2025, it's probably a fall winter 2026 show, which you could easily make it Christmas themed again and just kind of keep running with
yeah.
it.
Did it do well enough to really want to push another one forward? Like I
Um,
liked it. I mean like we've saw the
no,
ending
I
was a little bit
yeah,
soft, but like I enjoyed it. So
I did as well, and I think it did well enough because it had a OG Avenger in it.
right. That is kind of the thing I was just thinking about, like that whole thing where they're trying to use the things that have worked, that have been
hmm
popular, that's kind of launched the industry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it, it makes sense. In my video, I picked my three shows that I would want to get a second season of. So I'm going to put you on the spot now, Greg. What three shows would you like Marvel to do a second season of? And I'm particularly putting it that way because you can't say Loki season three. Well,
let's see. Oh, my dog was trying to answer for me. Um,
well, he just wants more Pizza Dog.
oh yeah, yeah.
Also, pizza, don't feed it to your dogs.
True. Don't. Garlic,
Yep,
especially
and onion,
Domino's. And what?
and onion.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's probably not good.
Yeah.
Um, okay. three shows that I want a second season of.
Yes.
Secret Invasion.
Okay. Nailed it.
I mean, I feel like it just needs one to just completely erase whatever happened before. Um, that's a half-ass answer. And
Yes, it
let's
is.
see, let's see what I think. mm, and because we have the topic of highlights, I would I would like to maybe. Oh God, I don't know if I want to say this yet. I'm gonna hold that one. Um, what other shows have come out? So
So
anything from anything that's
anything,
been done so far?
yep,
Okay.
any live action.
Any live action? I do want more Agatha.
Okay. Sec.
So that's maybe count that as my second one. And then yeah, I gotta cheat. I gotta look up stupid shows now that because I can't.
So,
You're putting me
uh,
on the spot and I don't.
yeah. WandaVision, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel. There's two seasons of Loki in there, so can't count those. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a show in there. Hawkeye. You could also
Okay.
you could just answer Hawkeye still. Um,
Oh, She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. Yep.
Okay. That's not my answer yet, but
Feel like I got most of them there.
are we talking Netflix at all?
No,
Okay. Does Agent Carter count?
that had two seasons.
Dang it. Okay. I'm gonna go with I think Ms. Marvel.
Okay.
And I would like to I think I would
They did skip one, I realized. I haven't mentioned one yet, but it was on my list. So we'll see if you catch it.
uh,
But yeah, what were you going to say? What was your. So you.
I think I'm gonna go. It's either Moon Knight or She-Hulk, and I, mm, I'm kind of torn because I think, I think Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight.
Mhm. So, so your three most serious answers are Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and what was the first one? Agatha.
Yes.
Okay. So overlap on two of them. Moon Knight. I want another season of that. They left that set up for another season, it felt like, with the introduction and our first like interactions with Jake Langley.
Right. That's the part that was like I really want. I really liked what was happening
Yep.
between all the three different
Mhm.
personalities there, and so
Yep. Then I agreed with you on Miss Marvel as well. I think that she's a character who still has a lot of growth that can be explored as like what it means to be a superhero,
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yep. I want it to be a little bit more.
I want a better villain.
Oh, yeah. But at the same, I just don't feel like she can defeat. Like, I don't know. I maybe what I want to see. I want to see her step up and be a threat against the villain. Because I mean,
Hmm.
power wise, sure, she could probably do that, but
We haven't seen it yet.
we haven't seen it yet. And that's so, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you were a kid who had to deal with some fairly simple villain. Now that you have your powers, what do you do when there's a real threat? What do you do when you're now put in that situation of to go to is it the Dark Knight where Two-Face, yeah, is, and like who do you rescue sort of thing? Or
Oh,
Yeah.
yep. I
Yeah,
don't remember which one
Joker.
that was. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Joker sets that up for Batman. So give Miss Marvel tough things like that to
I,
have to deal with.
sometimes I just feel like she's more needing somebody else with her. Like she's
Mhm.
more of a team up character.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I mean, I obviously love the first season,
right.
so she carried that well for me.
Yeah.
But she ha give her that person in the chair. Give her the Ned Leeds. Or in her case, Bruno.
I say Bruno. Yeah. Don't.
Yeah, I don't think I would want her or really any character to just be like, yes, it's just me all the time. I have no friends, sort of thing. You need
Yeah.
that human aspect to it as well.
Right. Um,
Have you figured out what my third one was?
your third one probably was
No.
do you dare to Captain or Falcon the Winter Soldier?
Nope. No.
No.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier, uh, they're headed
I,
back to the movies.
right. I just maybe you wanted I don't know
Taurus.
more
Wait,
Zemo. I don't know.
yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, who doesn't want more Zemo? No, I want the second season of Echo.
Okay, that was the one that I was like, I don't know what they could do with her, really.
Bring her back to
But
New
she was,
York.
it was so good.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. God, she could go, yeah, go back to New York, be under kind of under
She,
Kingpin, but not really.
yeah, like she rejects Kingpin. She tries to heal him, but yeah, put her on that street level. Um, and I like the idea of because in the first episode when she, or is it second episode of Echo, when she sends the train and blows up the train, like she's not above kind of this extreme kind of terrorism level of dealing with the bad guys.
Right.
Kind of almost like a Punisher level of it in terms of doesn't care if people die. And in
I,
fact, will kill people and
yeah.
put her in between Kingpin, who's trying to stop her because she's taking out some of the criminal organizations that he maybe is puppeting in the background, and but he's running it as like a legit thing. And Daredevil on the other side, Daredevil is looking at it and going, uh, she needs to be stopped because she's a danger to civilians.
Yeah, and he doesn't know
Like,
anything besides what
yeah.
they interacted with in Echo, right?
Hmm.
So,
Yep. Yeah. And so bring her in there as kind of the anti-hero hero type trope. Give
yeah,
us that really good morally gray character in New York having to deal with having cameos from Kingpin and Daredevil and kind of having to stop whatever bad thing is happening while avoiding both the bad and the good.
right. I think there needs to be that underlining story of her and her internal struggle, right? Her
Yes.
internal kind of angel devil thing kind of going back and forth, which
Hmm.
is sort of this she feels like
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. She feels like she's owes him something almost, or has
Hmm.
like a draw to him. What's the word? I can't think like a
It's almost a Stockholm syndrome
yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah, kind of like that, right? She, I can't think of the right word, but yes, I think
Hmm.
we understand
Yeah.
each other. I'm sorry if the
Yes.
audience has no idea what I'm talking about.
Yep. But so that was my third. So I wanted to throw that out to you just to see your thoughts on it. And now to the news.
Sorry.
First off, in the news, there is a giant Spider-Verse logo being set up in Chelsea, New York. People are speculating that this might have something to do or some announcement with the final Spider-Verse film, and maybe some announcement coming up with that.
Isn't that Gwen? Is that where she lives?
Yes, that is where Gwen lives.
So that's cool.
Hmm.
Introduction of Gwen, I guess. Gwen
Well,
Stacy or Gwen
yeah, Gwen Stacy.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. But well, the assumption is that this is still with the animated Sony stuff. So
But
not versus like I don't think they're going to well, that would be something that actually kind of love that if they announced a hey, here's a Gwen Stacy that is going to show up in Spider-Man 4. But I think it's probably more likely to do with the animated film because I don't think they want to. It's kind of like Miles Morales, where Kevin Feige has said that like once the Spider-Verse stuff is done, then conversations can start to happen about bringing in Miles. My guess is the same for Spider-Gwen.
yeah, interesting. Is it ready? Like, are they even close to ready with this? Why are they pushing the marketing on?
I would assume they're relatively, well, I say relatively close. I don't,
I read they scrapped some of it. Like they did they
there was a
I
rumor.
that
Yes.
yeah, and that was definitely a rumor. Don't even remember where I
Yes.
saw that, but like they scrapped the third movie because it just wasn't seeming to work and they
Oh,
started over. But
yeah. I don't
I
think
don't know if
there's
that's
ever been
true.
a full scrap of it. But I would assume that at this point in time, they could be announcing something to be like, and this is the date it's coming out in 2026.
Well,
So
cool marketing.
it's, yeah.
Nice
If it
job.
is marketing for that, that's awesome. If it's somebody doing a random art installation who loves Spider-Man, good job.
Well done. You now just
Yeah.
giving yourself a lot of business.
Yes. Then I alluded to this earlier with the idea, the Cosmic Circus thing about Nova and the next phase being a cosmic saga. Kevin Feige has said Secret Avengers Secret Wars will really lead us into a new age of mutants and X-Men. That's, I think, the closest confirmation we've had of, yes, we're going to get a mutant saga next. And I can't imagine that they won't do mutants next. Like, I guess what cosmic element would they tie into X-Men and mutants unless it's Dark Phoenix,
Oh,
Phoenix Saga.
I mean, I've heard a little bit of that, they
Mhm.
ah
There's also lots of rumors about Apocalypse, but that's not cosmic.
right.
That's like the
Yeah.
opposite of cosmic.
It's
He's been on Earth forever. Super
uh
cosmic.
right. It's super sandy, really.
Yes.
Oh God, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about Nova. I don't know, but to me it seems like it's the wrong direction
Yeah.
for mutants, I mean. But
Yes. Yep.
um
I think it's even a wrong direction for the MCU to now once they introduce the X-Men and or once they really start to introduce mutants, you have to lean into that for a phase. Even if that phase or that arc is only two phases, that has to be the primary focus. I guess if they want to do like a Disney Plus cosmic thing, sure. Have that be like the B storyline going. That can make sense. And you're muted. Uh,
uh
there we
how's
go.
that? Better? Okay, I'm
Yes.
back. I had to go and think about something for a while and I still got nothing.
Yeah, I've been sitting here for 45 minutes, folks.
And I was wondering, I thought you were in deep thought, like you kind of froze up, and I'm like, maybe he's thinking a lot. I don't want to interrupt, so I just waited patiently.
Yes.
Um,
I basically said they could do cosmic stuff if they wanted to stick it on Disney Plus, but the main MCU, the movies have to be mutant.
yeah, and I mean, what about like, is he ever an Avenger? Like, I still think Avenger versus X-Men, like I feel like they got to keep going with,
Yeah,
well, I don't know,
I think you do have to drop in some of the Avenger characters. Like I fully expect a Black Panther 3 to drop in that and after like to drop after Secret Wars.
right?
Um
Maybe
Captain
Eternals
America
2 will come around for something. I
uh
mean.
we had the Eternals anime rumor, so I think that's where it's more likely to land.
Fair. I don't know. This is
But
just kind of baffling
yeah,
to me.
yeah.
They've been wanting to do it. I think they want to do it really bad, but I don't know. I don't know where you put it.
Yeah. And the final rumor is that Marvel has been doing, or not rumor, news. This one I put in the news just because there was some quoted information in it. But Marvel doing casting for a secret role for a well-known Marvel character that will have a big role in Secret Wars. And every image I've seen with this rumor has one specific character in it that I think they are dead wrong on.
Uh, do I get to guess?
Yes, 45 minutes later.
We are.
What's your guess, Greg?
Oh, and we're back.
So I already made the joke about 45 minutes later while you were gone away.
Well, I
What's
heard
your
the joke.
guess? Okay, and your
I said,
guess.
and I'm back.
Yes.
Um, I said Leatherman, but I don't.
Isn't it Leather Boy?
Uh, well, after 40, we froze for a while, so I
Yeah.
guess maybe it's a man now. I don't know.
Yeah, the joke aged.
It it did not age well, but it aged.
Yeah. You have an idea?
Yeah. Molecule Man.
Okay. So I that was not the one that they regularly put up. Beyonder was the one they
Oh
put up.
yeah. No, I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. Not
Mhm.
Molecule Man. That I
Yeah.
was thinking. Yes.
Either
Yeah.
case, I don't think either of those are right because I don't know that either of those are a well-known character.
True. So I don't know. They can't use Miles. They
Yeah, unless Feige's playing it coy
right.
and it
Uh
is Miles that they're casting.
Makes me kind of wonder if Franklin is.
I mean, that's been a rumor that they're looking to cast a boy in between 10 and 13 um, for that role for Doomsday. Uh, so that wouldn't be specifically for Secret Wars.
Right. Um,
Trying to make this as challenging as possible.
yes. Okay, who do we not have?
I mean, any X-Men character would work. Um, within like other key players within the Secret Wars storyline, trying to think who else we'd still need. Mr.
T
Sinister.
T'Challa? They trying to bring T'Challa back, or like I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, that is a big
I mean they
character.
right because it's I mean they got the young kid, but I don't think they're gonna do
Hmm.
that. But they may
Yep,
bring in a younger, very young, new T'Challa.
yep, from another universe.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, Captain Britain. But again, is that a big enough known name? Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of like those are probably the three biggest characters, and by far, T'Challa would be the biggest one.
Yeah.
But it
Uh
feels like it could be X-Men related to me.
I just can't think of which X-Men, like which X-Men that would be.
Cyclops.
Is he that well, yeah. Yeah.
That and it. The thing is, this is obviously the MCU Secret Wars, so who knows?
Storm? I don't know.
Xavier. I mean, whenever they bring in Xavier, that's going to be big.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our main topic of highlights. Favorite
Uh,
things from 2024 Marvel related.
oh, it had to be Marvel related? Oh, I just had like my
Yeah.
birthday and
Hmm.
4th of July was great.
Hmm. The
That you got to be more specific when you're telling me these topics better.
yeah, the day after Election Day when all the political ads stopped running on television.
Oh, that was a good day. That was,
Hmm.
I mean, no, well,
Well, that aspect was a great
yeah,
element.
I'll just
Yeah,
try and
well,
save some viewers. I'll leave that alone.
yes, we'll leave
Um,
it at that.
um,
That's why I
yeah.
very carefully worded that one.
I know, like I don't want to stir the pot here. It's not the place for that.
Yes.
Um, so I got about six.
Hmm.
You're shooting from the hip, so that's
Yep, I can
cool. I'm
make up about
gonna
six.
okay. Oh, you did just during
Oh
that
no, I
whole
said it.
probably during the 45-minute freeze that we had, right?
No, I can make it up. I can make up 15 if we want, but
All right. Well, you want me to start?
yeah, kick us off.
Okay. So it kind of ties into one of the things we had been talking about
Hmm.
in the news rumors section there. Um, Echo was actually something I considered a highlight, at
Oh
least
yeah.
personally.
Hmm.
Um,
I love that show.
yeah, it was I mean, it really I think could have been really great, even more so if they would have been able to do what was originally planned and not had to cut it, right? Cut some, I think 2 episodes maybe were
One
cut out.
episode.
1 episode? God, you have a
Yep.
better memory. Okay.
Yeah. And
So
I'm hesitant to say that they could have cut out all the episodes of Secret Invasion, had a better show. So it's possible they did really cut out stuff that didn't make sense. Uh, But I think it more stands to be it'd be great if they had had one more episode of stuff that made sense to help flesh out some of the story elements.
yeah, yeah, I don't
Um,
really know what caused them to,
yeah,
and we will
it's
never
the
know.
we want,
But
yeah.
but I think it was a semi-success, and I think Maya Lopez was outstanding, and I want
Hmm.
to see more of her, and I would love to see, like we were saying, do
Alekwa
some.
Cox,
What did I say?
Maya Lopez, the character name.
Oh yeah, sorry, Alako Cox.
Yeah,
It's like I get Riri and Dominic like all the
Thorne.
time.
Yep.
Like
Hmm.
I'm like, which is the real person?
Hmm.
That's I'm so heavily into Marvel. I
Yeah.
don't know what reality is anymore. Yeah, like, oh. But I want to see it's like some more like I love it to kind of bleed more into the Daredevil
Yes.
is what I or
Hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of fall into there. So
Yeah. Kind of like I pitched with another show or another season of her show, or as you were saying, bring her in with Daredevil season two. Um, that was one of the highlights that I had in my mind going into this of I just really I was surprised by that show in a really good way.
yeah. And no shade to Jessica Jones, the Netflix series,
Hmm.
but almost like Daredevil, Echo, sure Luke Cage. That had some decent moments too, but like I feel like she could fit in that
Yes.
Defenders area. So
Hmm. Yep. Yeah. Have her and Danny Rand on the screen at the same time. That's what we're hoping for.
yeah, yeah. Nope, not one bit.
Yeah.
Man, I feel bad about that. It just wasn't a good show. Like they just
Hmm.
didn't do it well. So,
Yep. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'll I'll hop in with one. X-Men 97, and in particular that Remember It episode. Like that episode was just it hit so hard
oh yeah,
with everything that it did that it just like that was when the show really felt like it turned it up to 11, and it was always fairly obvious it was for fans of the show in the 90s who are now all growing up, but that episode really hit on that, and I thought that was just phenomenal.
yeah. So X-Men 97 is one of mine as
Hmm.
well. That episode was amazing.
Hmm.
I noticed, and I don't know why I didn't hear much about this. Maybe a lot of people said it, but Wanda says the same thing in WandaVision. In one of the like later episodes, when she visits the sword, she's
Yes.
putting her
Yep.
right. And I totally forgot about that. So
Hmm.
it made it, I kind of wish she wouldn't have said it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it had I felt like ooh, it had equal amount, if not more,
Even more
like
weight.
yeah, in X-Men 97 for me.
Hmm.
So great show, fun to watch. Lots of just fun ideas, and it
Hmm.
was good to see.
Yeah.
Felt like a kid again.
Hmm.
Um, Tossing out another one, Cohorty. That was a highlight for me. I
Yep.
think that episode of What If was when they introduced her. I thought it was really
Hmm.
cool. I thought that was a unique way when they only spoke the language of the who man help me with that
Bhakti?
Chakti. That sounds right. I was
Hmm.
like, what is the tribe name? That was really
You want
cool.
you want me to be a jerk about it?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
came out in 2023.
That is such a dick move. Why do you gotta do that? God, I thought that was totally, man. Okay,
It's
well,
well, it's because we're not at the end of the year. We haven't had season 3 of
I
What
forget
If come out.
it
And
came
so
out. Yeah, that's right,
yeah,
because it came out during the holiday season, like on like oh,
yeah. And I I believe I'm gonna actually look this up just for the heck of it.
just to
Uh,
rub it in a little more. Is that what you're doing here?
uh,
Salt in the wound.
No, I don't remember if any of the episodes were in 2024 or not.
No, they all ended. It was all on the holiday time. They
Yep,
ended right after
22nd through the
Christmas.
30th. Yep. So they did not. I was like,
Well,
I don't remember anything, but no, sorry, I had to be a dick about it. But
yeah,
also, it does fit into kind of how we talk about things because it's really hard to cover. Well, we can't cover What If in 2023. It just doesn't work time-wise.
yeah.
And so I'll allow
Oh
it.
God. Okay.
After I've
Um,
been a jerk about it. But yes, that was really cool to see them create a new character specifically for a show, and
yeah,
that being the first spot we see it.
yeah. There's a lot of good, like just awesome backstory,
Hmm.
I think, and I'm a little. She seems a little bit overpowered, but
Hmm.
I'll allow it for now.
Yep.
So
Well, and it seems like she draws her power specifically from, I guess, I don't know how to describe what she draws her power from specifically, but it would be easy enough to say that source isn't as strong.
yeah,
Um,
isn't
like
it from
this,
her like ancestors? Doesn't it
no,
come from there, or is it from?
no, because she was pulling it, like she was able to draw so much of it from that other dimension, basically.
Uh,
So I think it could be something where they could play around with it and be like, well, because of X, Y, and Z events in the world, because of the like kind of the man-made pavement paving over things, it now is not as strong as it once was.
yeah,
Um,
ancestral land kind of thing.
yeah.
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 Okay.
So I like that one a lot. Now I'll go with one that I know for sure you don't have on your list because it's up my alley. But there was a board game, Comic Hunters, which has fully licensed with Marvel. about building your Marvel comic collection. Um, that is a really fun board game. And so that came out in the US this year, Brazil, I believe in 2018. So, but
Oh,
that's besides the point. First US release, English release, because it took forever to get the licensing for all those comics because it is actual comic covers that you are collecting for different things. I'm a huge board game fan, so it was really cool and fun to have that one come out this year and get to play it and add it to my board game collection.
huh, that is cool. That's a long time to get licensing to go through.
Well, because not only are you having to license with Marvel, you're having to, I believe, work with all the cover artists too.
Oh,
And so
okay.
it's just I mean, it's hundreds of cards. Well, probably, yeah, probably over 100 cards, 150 maybe. So that's a lot of covers.
Yeah. Hmm.
Maybe
Um,
sometime I'll teach it to you if you're asked nicely.
I'm never gonna ask nicely.
Fine. I'll teach it to you anyways.
Out of
No.
spite. I'll
Yes.
just spitely make me learn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, okay. I did my okay, I said Echo. Oh, I agreed with you on X-Men 97. You let it one slide with Cohorty, and I'm gonna go now with highlight number 4 for me.
Hmm.
Uh I said in my notes, Marvel TV is back, baby, because Agatha all along crushed it.
Hmm.
So that was a pretty big highlight for me. Just to see Marvel come back, giving me that feeling that we've talked about with WandaVision, just that
That
really
mystery.
invested, yeah, the
Yeah.
mystery and investment and so just to have that was a pretty big highlight for me. And
Yes.
it's obviously fresh. It was the last thing we've kind of been covering and watching, and
Hmm.
but I think I would probably, if you were to ask me, you know, 6 months from now, I'd probably still say that is going to be that was a pretty big win and knock out of the park for
Hmm.
Marvel in 2024. So
Yeah. I will say, like, Marvel didn't put out much in 2024, but they didn't put out anything bad in 2024.
now, Deadpool and Wolverine, after rewatching it,
Hmm.
it's funny, it's fanfare, it's all this, but I'm like, it just didn't have what the first two had story-wise. And
Hmm.
that was a little bit of a disappointment, and it was something that I didn't really recognize until my second watch through.
Hmm.
How it felt, it was a little bit empty for me, but that's a topic maybe for another time. But
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna say with Deadpool and Wolverine, I think it was a highlight to be in a movie theater that was so packed again, and to have that movie kind of hit the way it did.
mhm,
And I do think that, and for me, that's a highlight because it felt like watching a Marvel movie. Um, that I don't know that any Marvel movie has felt like that since, well, Spider-Man No Way Home was the last time. And then probably not like that until like Endgame before that.
yeah, it didn't feel like that big that like
Yeah. It was just the
uh
big fanfare of everybody's there to see it and everybody's
right.
excited.
Yeah. And honestly, that was another one of my highlights was seeing Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine costume, face mask
Hmm.
and all, right? Like his cowl was up and over and
Yeah.
I think for me that was super exciting because I think his character was it was fun, it was funny, but he was it was good. It was a
Yes.
highlight to see him back on the screen again, the
Hmm.
big screen. So
Yep. Yeah.
and
So,
just to wrap that one up real tightly, Gambit
mhm.
was my addition to that one that I
Hmm.
was going to mention. Just it was fun to
Yep.
see Gambit. I really enjoyed what he
Oh yeah.
said. It was hilarious. That
Yeah.
and the fight scene was
It's
great.
hmm Yeah, that final fight or that final fight in the void
Yeah.
was so good. Because to have those two different parts to the fight too, where it's not just the action of all these characters we know and we've seen and we love, or just introduced to in the case of Gambit, but getting to see Elektra Blade,
Hmm.
X-23, and Gambit all fighting in kind of the bigger battle, but then the manipulative battle going on between Wolverine, Deadpool, and Cassandra Nova and just kind of those two playing against each other, I thought was great.
Yep. Yeah. And just getting a full exercise in Gambit's powers was fun,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it was. So for me, another highlight, and this one is it's because I've been doing it in 2024. If you're watching on the YouTube channel regularly, you know that I'm getting comics and I'm getting like these different unique covers. So to be able to find artists and covers where I'm just like, this is really cool, and to be kind of going down that rabbit hole a little bit of, ooh, what's the next thing they're going to do? I've been having an absolute blast with that.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, there was
that
beeping happening in the background of my house, and
gotta
I
make
tried to
sure
figure
it's
out.
not on fire.
I was making sure, yeah, looking for smoke.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So
um,
for me, that's been a highlight. Just something different. Now I need to read more. I did start Venom Wars on um Marvel Unlimited.
yeah, I just need to learn to read. So that's yeah,
hmm You
it's
need to
good.
learn to
Good.
not fall asleep while reading.
I honestly, I pulled up like I was reading the Ultimates last night or 2 nights ago, and I'm like, it was I don't know, th 2 pages, and I'm like, nope, I'm out. I can't. Like, I'm like this is so dumb. Like, it's good too. I'm enjoying it. I just can't
Yeah.
keep my eyes open.
Yeah. So do you have one more
I think I've got
or two more?
it's kind of it's a two-parter. So part one, big highlight was and I can't say this is like a personal like yes I'm happy for this or whatever, but it was significant I would say for Marvel as far as a highlight goes when that's the Kang Dynasty shift to the Doomsday,
Oh yeah, that
and how
announcement.
right, which then brings in the second part of this, which is RDJ.
Yes.
Um, oh, I still have a little bit of mixed feelings about this. I think it's more just like nervousness of it not sticking the landing. But I think it was a highlight that not the Jonathan Major stuff, but
hmm
a highlight that we finally get Doom, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how Fantastic Four maybe introduces, well, at least maybe we'll maybe get a hint of him there, right? And then and another hint and some other stuff, but I'm excited just for Doom and the because that is gonna I feel like gonna give me the feeling that Thanos gave me with maybe he was kind of right about some stuff and that kind of feeling in a
hmm
villain always makes the movie better to me.
Yes.
When
Yep.
I start siding with them or thinking maybe that is a good idea or maybe that is the best case scenario that
hmm
you can do, right? Maybe you kill off half the universe so that the rest of us can survive, and that's just a sacrifice that needs to be
hmm
done.
Yeah.
So
In this case, maybe you destroy a whole bunch of universes because they're going to be destroyed anyways. So you saving something is the only solution.
yeah.
The issue is it's probably not, but when the character is convinced they're doing the right thing as the villain, they're
Mhm.
not just doing something to be villainous. That's always a home run for me.
Yeah.
So,
So it's kind of a we'll see how that obviously plays out,
mhm.
but I think nonetheless it's a highlight and
Yeah.
it could be great. So
And I think I would echo a lot of that, all puns intended. But to have, I would put it this way, to have that huge San Diego Comic-Con moment again
mm,
was awesome.
it was cool. That was I thought we were done, and then they
hmm
brought out like after the Russo brothers and stuff like
hmm
that brought out RDJ. So
hmm Brought out the
that
whole, all the different Doom bots,
yeah,
and then RDJ. And Marvel doesn't need to do like they did in 2019, was it? When they had the huge list of everything.
right.
Yeah. I don't need that ever again. I if they want to give me a graphic of like, hey, this is where we're at, these are the next few things coming, I like the graphics.
Yeah.
But to have that one thing at San Diego Comic-Con where it's like that made it special, that's if they can do that every year, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Now, I don't think you can reveal a person like that again and make it
Not that same way,
no.
but it, I mean, I think it'd be very reasonable to think in 2025, you have here's,
The X-Men cast.
yeah, here's some X-Men, or
Yeah.
2026. But be like, here's an X-Men cast, and that's just part of your event. And then you have more than like the one obviously scripted line of new mask, same task sort of thing. You actually have the panel with them. You have them answer a few questions. Um, I would love it if they were like, and here's a bunch of random actors. They're gonna be the X-Men, and then they don't specify for a little while. And they're asking them a few questions, or they're making comments about how awesome it is to be playing X-Men characters. And then after like 5 minutes, where people are just getting super antsy in the room, you're like, oh yeah, and I guess we forgot to do this. So and so, they're playing Jean Grey. This person's playing Rogue,
Yeah.
and just kind of tease the
Just toy
audience
with
a
them
little.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. That would be kind of fun.
you know,
Just
especially
manipulating
since
the
we've
crowd.
yeah, especially since we won't be there most likely. So
No. Yeah.
yeah, make this podcast real famous so that we can go.
Yeah. Yes, please. That'd be great.
Trying to think if there's anything else that I have on mine. Um, I didn't say much about Agatha all along. It definitely was a highlight as a show. I love it. But after that first trailer, I kind of assumed that I was going to, and I didn't have the qualms the that a noisy part of the general audience did about the show. I was like, oh, this kind of seems like a show that's made for me.
Yeah.
And I was right. So it's less of a highlight, I think, that way, just because I was expecting really to love it.
Yeah. It really just, I was just happy that they had a show
Yep.
that had what I was looking for, I think, in it. So
Yes.
that the writing was put first, it feels like, and the
Hmm.
costume design was there and the set and all. It just was, they put the right things first,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So
Yes. They really did on that one. I'm trying to think if there's anything else off the wall that I want to call out as a highlight. I don't know that there is, other than I've been having a lot of fun with all the video content, making all of that. Greg wouldn't know what like that's
I
like though.
I don't know what that's like. I don't have that time. Um, I think about it often,
Hmm.
and one of these days I'll put out a great video, and you guys will love it. It'll be
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah. I just have to remember to feed you like, hey, do this video on this news thing.
Yeah,
Give you
tee me up,
specifics.
tee me
Yep.
up, and then if my kids aren't around screaming like they have been for the past half hour, and my dog doesn't bark at everything that passes by, I can probably spit out a video. I can.
Yep. Yes. So let us know what your highlights from Marvel in 2024 were. We'll even let you include What If Season 3 if you want. Um, leave those down in the comments section here on the podcast if there's a good comment section for it. I know that you can obviously get the podcast on YouTube, search for 10 Minute Marvel. Obviously, can leave comments there, but also drop comments over on the Facebook page, facebook.com/10minmarvel. X, you can tweet them to me at the Scando or with hashtag 10minmarvel. And again, we just want to thank you all for listening. We really do appreciate it, and we hope that you're enjoying everything we put out. If you are, there are ways you can support the podcast. You can Greg gave some of them at the beginning, but we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/nerdologists. Funds go to help improve the quality of this podcast, as well as the Multimedia YouTube channel, the 10 Minute Marvel YouTube channel, and nerdologist.com website. But with that, I'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody.